Parasite Puppeteers. Imagine your brain being hijacked by a squirming, microscopic creep that turns you into its personal puppet. That's the reality for some unlucky critters thanks to Toxoplasma gondii, a parasite that's basically evolution's answer to a zombie apocalypse. This tiny terror infects rodents, rewiring their brains to make them seek out cats. Yes, the one place they should never go. Why? Because Toxoplasma needs to hop into a cat's gut to reproduce, so it flips the rodent survival instincts into a suicidal death wish. Picture a mouse sniffing around a cat's litter box like it's auditioning for a horror flick. Scientists say this parasite messes with dopamine levels, turning fear into reckless attraction. It's like evolution decided, you know what's fun? Gaslighting an entire species into oblivion. And here's the kicker, Toxoplasma can infect humans too, lurking in up to a third of the global population, subtly tweaking behavior, feeling oddly drawn to your cat's litter box. Yeah, blame evolution's creepiest mind control experiment. Next time you're scooping Fluffy's poop, just know nature's laughing. Cannibalistic tadpole terrors. Picture this, you're a tadpole, just vibing in a pond, when your sibling suddenly decides your lunch. Meet the Bombaphron spadefoot toad, a creature that proves evolution has a sick sense of humor. These tadpoles can morph into carnivorous monsters when food gets scarce, sprouting jagged, serrated teeth to chomp on their own kind. It's like nature said, why compete for algae when you can just eat your family? Their bodies shift into a hyper-aggressive form, with bigger jaws and a taste for blood, all triggered by environmental stress. Scientists call this phenotypic plasticity, but let's be real, it's evolution turning tadpoles into tiny Hannibal Lecters. The kicker? These cannibalistic freaks grow faster and stronger than their plant-eating siblings, meaning nature rewards the ones who go full horror movie. Imagine being a tadpole, looking at your brother, and realizing he's sizing you up for dinner. Evolution's message here is clear. Family reunions are overrated, and betrayal is just good biology. Self-destructing ant assassins. Now, let's talk about ants that take team player to a whole new level of unhinged. The Camponotus sondarsi ant, found in Southeast Asia, has a defense mechanism that's basically evolution's middle finger to survival. When threatened, these ants rupture their own bodies, spraying a toxic, sticky goo that glues enemies in place and kills them. That's right, they explode themselves to save the colony. Imagine your DNA deciding, you know what? You're better off as a living grenade. This self-destruct button, called autophasis, involves special glands that store the goo until the ant clenches its abdomen and boom, game over for everyone nearby. It's a one-way ticket to martyrdom, and evolution thought, yeah, that's a vibe. The colony survives, but the ant? Just a splattered footnote in nature's playbook. Next time you step on an anthill, be glad they don't all have this kamikaze switch flipped. Mind-melting octopus tricksters. Imagine an animal that can vanish into thin air, change color like a living mood ring, and outsmart you in a game of hide and seek. The octopus cyanea, or day octopus, is evolution's master of psychological warfare. These cephalopods don't just blend into coral reefs, they mimic other animals, like venomous sea snakes, to scare off predators. Their skin is a living canvas, flashing patterns to confuse, hypnotize, or just plain terrify anything nearby. It's like nature gave them a PAAHDAADDDDHEHE in deception, and a side gig as a horror movie director. Scientists say their brain-to-body ratio rivals a mammal's, with neurons in their arms that let them think independently. Picture an octopus arm deciding to strangle you while the rest of it pretends to be a rock. Evolution thought, why settle for camouflage when you can gaslight the entire ocean? The creepiest part? They can solve puzzles and escape tanks, meaning they're probably plotting world domination while you're watching this. Sleep tight knowing nature's smartest nightmare is out there, scheming. Self-sacrificing spider moms. Let's talk about a mother's love so extreme, it makes your family drama look tame. The Stegotyphus lineatus spider takes maternal sacrifice to a level that's pure body horror. After laying eggs, The mom liquefies her own insides to become a living buffet for her babies. Yes, you heard that right, her spiderlings eat her alive. Slurping up her gooey remains to kickstart their lives. Evolution decided, why feed your kids bugs when you can just be the meal? This process, called matrophagy, ensures the young get a nutrient-packed head start. But at what cost? Imagine your mom turning herself into a smoothie for your birthday. These spiders don't even flinch, they just dig in like it's another Tuesday. It's a survival strategy so grim, it feels like nature was dared to make parenting a nightmare. The punchline? The mom's body is so efficient. She's basically a 5-star meal with zero waste. Brain-eating amoeba invaders. Let's end this nightmare parade with the microscopic monster that makes you question if evolution hates us all. Niglaria fowleri, the brain-eating amoeba, lives in warm freshwater and has a hobby, crawling up your nose to devour your brain. Once it sneaks in, it multiplies, chomping through neural tissue like a microscopic Pac-Man, causing a fatal infection called primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. Symptoms start with headaches and end with you basically melting from the inside. Evolution thought, why not make a single-celled organism that's a serial killer? It's rare, sure, but the fact that it exists at all feels like nature's cruel prank. Swimmers in warm lakes are its favorite targets, turning a summer dip into a potential horror story. The final gut punch? There's almost no cure once it starts eating, with a fatality rate over 97%. Thanks, evolution, for reminding us nowhere is safe, not even our own skulls.